October 17th, and it's just hours after the convention of Lifewave Global just ended here in Orlando, Florida. And we wanted to catch some of the energy and some of the incentives that came out of it, talk a little bit about it. Those of you that were there perhaps could share in just a few words what this conference meant to you. And I'll go off and sort of set the stage that to say it was breathtaking is to be an understatement. We heard from inspiring speakers, not the least of which was John C. Maxwell, and I know Coach Clarissa sure knows him well. We were challenged by various executives of the company and within the company, some of the more accomplished brand partners ranking as senior presidential directors. And we, of course, most importantly, heard from David Schmidt, our CEO, founder, and genius inventor of not only the products, but the company. And what he shared with us in the oncoming weeks, months, years, we knew, as we've known for a long time, that we are certainly in the right place at the right time. And it was said many times that Lifewave, having experienced the exponential growth that it has, and there was a beautiful timeline of Lifewave right from the beginning. If you had a chance to see it, it was on the floor outside the meeting room, and it took you in these huge, I would say they were 4 by 6 foot panels all the way through from the beginning to the end. And I had a chance to capture that on video. And to see that and to see the progress of where this little company started and to where it is right now is really something of a phenomenal nature. And we've said it many times that when we go back just 5 years, Lifewave was doing about $2 million in sales a month. And we are now pacing at $40 million in sales a month, a 20x growth factor. There are certainly not many companies that can say that. So I want to talk a little bit about the incentives for 2024, but I want to call on a few people here that were with us. And I'm going to start with Lois Hillier, who is seated beside her, is Margaret Clausen. They were here at convention. Ladies, in just a few words, tell us what it meant for you to be here and see the future of Lifewave. Wow. Just unmute yourself.
I'm unmuted.
You're unmuted. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, this is my third convention, and I tell you, this would top them all. I mean, well, Dave is my favorite. I love listening to him. I could listen to him day and night. He's just his voice, everything. He's so calming. It just soothes the soul. And where he's going with this company is phenomenal. It really gives us hope and to know that he's ahead of the curve and just the things he's going to be doing for us in the next year. So anyone that's saying, maybe I'll go next year, do it. Because it's their 20th anniversary of the company. He's just going to pull out all the stops. We can't even imagine what it's going to be like next year. So this one was amazing. Next year will be even better. I know. Every one we've been to. I went to the one in 2020, January 2020. Then 2021 I missed. We went last year, and this one was even better. So it's just gets better and better every year. And some of the stuff he talked about that he showed us, kind of a little preview of what will be coming probably for next year. Wow. And the office that they're building in Utah, we must get a road trip or something. We got to, my sponsor said, yeah, we got to get a trip going and go there and just see this thing when it's finished. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So we're with the right company at the right time. There is no other. We have no competition. So the sky's the limit for all of us. Whatever we want to do, bigger or smaller, it's all good.
Thank you, Lois. Margaret, come into the focus of the camera a bit. And this was your first convention. Tell us for yourself what it meant for you from where you started and to come to this convention in just a few words.
Well, yeah, this is my first time, like you said, and there was so much like to take in and even like all the people. And I have never ever been at a convention or anywhere that I could say 3,000 people like looking around, and everybody was friendly and good, and the good supper what we had all together. And I thought from David Schmidt too, like whatever he was saying, I wrote down a lot, but when I sit by myself and think of it, and I think, wow, there's way more what I probably will remember later on, what I had heard and what the patches are all for, and how much people we can help. That is worth it coming here and listening and take that all in.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing that. I want to go out to our virtual audience and ask Carola and Roger if they would share for a moment. Unmute yourself, please, and tell us from what you observed. What did you see, and what did you feel? What touched your heart in this after this convention? Go ahead, Carola.
Well, I should say there's so many stuff that I could talk about. You know, John Maxwell, like about mindset and all that. It's huge. Like I know he just had like a short introduction, as you would like to say, but then like everyone, like to Dr. Stacy, to see her on stage explaining how simple you can share the patches, and Michael Jaco, how he actually said more than some other people, in my opinion. But that's why people bring different people on the stage so that you have somebody that resonates with you. You know, like for some people, those that I mentioned might not have been resonating with you, but it did for me. And then towards the end, what David Jumper did, pull off praising David Schmidt, what he did, and David didn't want to hear it. He said, "It's not about me, it's about you." And to all to the end, like what David Schmidt, like how they surprised him and how he couldn't say a boo. Like he was baffled at like you could tell, like he didn't like, did not expect that, like where he came and said he probably should start singing and all that, and then and surprised, like whatever you want to call it, you know, like, and that he got a gift from his wife on stage. So that was priceless. But yeah, like you could tell, like he is very humble, and that's why, like in his teaching, like go a little back, his teaching about the Bible, like the heart to heart, what it actually means in the Bible and all that. That speaks volumes to me what the company stands for, and that's why I am 100% or 1000%, if you will, behind the company, what they stay for or stand for, right? So there is something to this man, because he is gifted from God, right? So that's just a little bit about all that.
Thank you so much for sharing that. That is very meaningful, because what we have seen typically in this company is David Schmidt. David Schmidt, the humble leader, David Schmidt, the God-inspired leader, David Schmidt sharing his passion and his heart and doing it with the utmost humility. And you know, we really see that, and one of the things that I want to share, I guess, is that it is my desire and my hope that our company will remain as it is, not in growth, of course, or in stature or in size or anything, but to stay in that lane where we lift other people up. And that's what David Schmidt, and you're absolutely right, Carola. He did a wonderful job, you know, and David Jumper just returned that to David, and it was so cute when he said, "Hey, hang on a minute, it's about you right now." But that's how this company functions. You get leaders who are lifted up, talking to other leaders, talking about their brand partners and their teams that make them who they are. I want to go over to Coach Clarissa here and ask you, would you please share in a few minutes what it was like for you and Jay and some of your team to be there? And I see Rich is on the call here too. So could you share with us what it was like for you to be at the convention?
First of all, we're so grateful that God allowed us to be there. And I mean, nothing will happen without intending it to happen. So first of all, our intention to be there. And I encourage a lot of leaders, especially those who are new in the industry. The reason why I encourage them to be on the convention is to evaluate, check the company, check the community, and then feel it from your heart what will come out after the convention. And for me, all of us knows that fact tells, story sells. For me, the top one of the takeaway and my inspirations, like one of the top leaders from Australia with 7 children who happened to be a caregiver to her sick husband. That story, she doesn't have any excuses at all. And, she's so focused on achieving things for her and for her family. And that, for me, that's huge. Second is like the David Jumper, the first ever winner of the Lifetime Achievement Award. That's only show that, David Jumper stayed with the company. So that means there's something in the company, the reason why he stayed. And not only that, his leadership was able to acknowledge by the company. The Lifetime Achievement Award, when I was seated at the table with my husband and Rich and our leaders, like we felt that we're one of the winners. I know that you feel the same way too, right? And next is like, seeing all of you to be there, being it on virtual or in person. That means we are all there to grow. And most especially when it's like walking around, I walked around, interviewed a lot of SPDs. So for me, that's huge. SPDs who attended to learn, attended to grow, attended to inspire, and most especially to develop themselves. So for me, what's my excuse? So I really want to encourage you, dig deep inside in your heart, that if you're really serious in not only becoming successful in this industry, but also achieving success in order for us to help other people. And for me, that's the first step. Not the second step, but the first step is to be at the convention. In that way, all the excuses all the excuses will be gone. Only the dreams and action will take place. So thank you so much, Carl, for letting me share, and thanks all of you to be here. We have all, teams here. Thank you so much for being here. All the best.
Oh, thank you so much. And before I go to Pete, who is the reason why all of us are here, I want to say that what you just said here, and I wrote it down here, you go to that convention and you get to put your finger on the pulse of the company. And it was so fitting, heart to heart. The pulse of this company is David Schmidt. The speed of the leader is the speed of the group. And I know that's a favorite saying of Pete. And I want to turn it over to our leader here, who's the reason why all of us are here, and Pete Redekop, and give your impression, because you have certainly been to a few of these. Share your thoughts and what this conference meant to you.
Well, thank you so much, Carl. And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. One of my greatest satisfactions is meeting people that I haven't met before. And there were so many in Robin and Gregory's room the night of the get together. First, we went up to David Jumper's room, all of us, and then we were at the wrong door. And then some of us stayed with Robin and Gregory, and Clarissa, Jay, myself, Rich Dilla. We went up to David Jumper's room and, just rubbing shoulders. We had already met David Jumper in the past, and he was a guest speaker on the Success Team webinar about a month ago, and he just did a phenomenal job. And that Lifetime Achievement Award said so much to me. I mean, the man who he is, and his wife, Spira, the love that he has, and the whole theme of the convention, heart to heart, it was present just everywhere you looked. And meeting people like Rich Dilla, who flew halfway around the world to be live at the convention, one of Clarissa's downline managers. It was just real touching to see and to realize that these people made an all-in commitment to attend. I've been to conventions around the world for over 30 years, full-time in the network marketing industry. And I want to share, I've never, ever experienced anything like this. The 2021 convention was amazing. I know Carl and I had a sit down with David Jumper there as well. And just a real heart-to-heart conversation, connecting, and he's just real down to earth. But meeting them again, reuniting with people you haven't seen in a long time, or meeting brand new people that you haven't met before, but seen them virtually many times, that was really special. And for me, the whole atmosphere of caring and sharing was so real. And even like Hannah, her first convention, I mean, coming in from the Philippines, first to Canada, and then flying out to Orlando, and we're back in Mexico where we live now. But it was just really, really special. And I want to really applaud Carl and Judy Friesen here. She couldn't attend this year, but she's been at the convention before. I mean, just some really great leaders with that we have in the team here. And it all begins with you, ladies and gentlemen. If you're envious and you're looking at, wow, I could never do what Carl does or Clarissa does or Judy does. Yes, you can. It's mind over matter. You have to focus. You have the ability to just say, I can do this. I can do this, and not allow yourself to feed yourself the malarkey that you can't do it. You can do it. We all can do it. We have it within us. It's just a matter of activating that and getting excited, making the commitment and going like Margaret Clausen did first time at the convention, and just really making that decision to be present. That is so huge and it's life-changing. And you're going to hear some amazing incentives in this webinar tonight that Lifewave has prepared for all of us to attend, whether it's a cruise or whether it's a vacation to the Mayan Rivera. Well, I'm going to let Carl share that. So thank you, Carl, for all you do and the energy that you put into this success team group, and just appreciate each and every one of you.
Thank you, Pete. You know, it is something to really meet the people that you are on calls with, and to see how, first of all, how attractive they are. And they're much bigger than the Hollywood squares like we are on right now. And you get to embrace them. And once again, it's heart to heart, it's touch and feel, it's hugs. You know, I don't know how many hugs Robin would have given out, but she's probably still not exhausted. It's just being there. And you mentioned the meetings, the chance little meetings that are put together in an instant, you know, in Robin and Gregory's room, and David Jumper, and just seeing that you're walking amongst giants, but every one of us can do what any one of them can do. I remember talking with Helen. She was on the call last night and shared, and I shared it then. I want to share it again. She says, you know, I'm earning a bachelor degree income, and I don't even have high school. And you look at the people around you and say, where else can you be a person of this stature and magnitude and be so impactful into other people's lives? Because remember, what we're doing is helping people to better health and changing their financial future in the same. But it's up to you. As Coach Clarissa said, you come to convention and all the excuses are removed. Not one of us, and I mean that sincerely, not one of you on this call tonight can say you have a legitimate excuse why you can't rise up as far as you want to go. It's all there for you. The company gives you the tools, and really the blessing, as I said to Robin and Gregory on that live by the poolside, is they've laid an infrastructure. They've paved the road to success. If you choose to step on that road, all the tools will be given to you and all the support will be given to you. That is an incredible undertaking. And I want to just now move a little into this. And I want to share my screen with you. Hopefully this is coming up. Let me just bring it up loud. Everybody can see this. This is what is being offered right now until midnight tonight for you to attend. So you've heard us say, you've heard us speak. Some of us were inspired by being here, others by watching the virtual. But coming October 2024, what a year. Lifewave's 20th anniversary. And if you know David from anything you know, he's gonna put it out there big. This will be by far the biggest and best convention, because he topped it again today this weekend on the 19th. So the incentive is here right now, that if you purchase your ticket, and there's a 72-hour limit, which runs out at midnight tonight, look at the deal you're getting, $147. That's $100 plus saving off the regular price, which will be in effect if you leave it till the last few weeks or months. And you know that this conference sold out, so there's going to be no trouble if you change your mind. And just because Lifewave is the way they are, they've also stated that because they have not yet announced where the convention will be, that if you purchase this ticket and you're not happy or cannot attend for whatever reason, they will give you your money back. But at $147 and a sellout reputation of what we had, this really is no thinking thing, as that country song goes. And then, of course, after midnight tonight, the regular or the early bird single pricing drops down in incentive and goes up by $50. So you see that goes to $197. And then thereafter, that's going to be on till the 31st of January. And then you got regular pricing at $257, which is about what all of us paid here. So the incentive is there. There is no reason not to come, folks. Really, there isn't. And if you set this flag out there, you know, and say, that's my goal. One of my goals is to be at convention for perhaps the first time, or perhaps because this is the 20th anniversary, you will get there. You'll find a way to get there. I know, I'll share this personally, that when Lois and Bonnie and Margaret and I booked our flights, and we booked them at the right time, we were able to fly to Orlando and back for $549 Canadian. And then through some creative means, and Lois had the connections, we secured a beautiful resort that we're staying on. And I can't even tell you how cheap it was. It's ridiculous. So if you are creative, and as I think Clarissa said it, but certainly John C. Maxwell said, be intentional. If you intend to be at this convention in 2024, you're going to make it. Trust me, you're going to make it there. Let me move along here. Anybody have anything else they want to add to that before I move on? Global events calendar. This is quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. We're going to have, of course, the NOVA convention, which will be a ticket that we all buy, a virtual. And they're planning the grand opening of the global headquarters in Salt Lake City. You know what? I just want to ask someone else to describe in their words, because words fail me to describe what we saw in that in the drafts, in the early drawings, renderings of what that center could be. Clarissa, do you want to go first and share how you were impressed by this global headquarters that's being built in Salt Lake City?
Oh, I tell you, this global opening, the headquarters, I know and I'm expecting that we'll be able to visit the global headquarters next year. So that's my my expectation and intention. And, you know, with what we have seen and what we have witnessed with this 19th year anniversary, so I'm expecting, we are all expecting the 20th year anniversary will be something. So,
and not to mention that David has hired the person that is in his life. He's so futuristic in his thinking, and we know about his fascination as an inventor with the character of Iron Man. And so he went to Star Trek, you know, to boldly go where no man has ever gone. We are that company right now. We are not a Me Too product company. We don't duplicate what other companies do. Lifewave is leading the wave. So in his plannings of the convention, he is of the global headquarters. He's also going along with developing a center that is so futuristic. It's going to be breathtaking for people to walk in there. And I think part of what they're going to see is something that they've never seen before. And that's inspiring to want to be a part of a company that is so forward thinking in its ability. Just one thing that comes to mind here. When Jim Caldwell was on the stage, and he is the fellow who you used to see on the stage a lot, but he's now with special projects and works very closely with David Schmidt. Jim reminded David of a time when people laughed at the ideas and the kind of products that David wanted to introduce on the market. And they're not laughing anymore. Lifewave is a global force. We are now in 80 countries around the world. And given the volume that we're doing and the people that are looking for what we have, we truly have something to offer them. And it is exciting to see. And all of these things are going to happen. What you're seeing here in quarter 2, there's a regional travel incentive that we're going to talk about in a few minutes here, and an elite travel incentive for leadership. And that involves a fantastic trip that you can be part of. The 20th anniversary leadership incentive there in quarter 3. And of course, in the 4th quarter, closing out with the global conference and the 20th anniversary conference with more regional travel incentives there. So let's talk about for a minute. So there were different travel incentives given for various areas of the world. And this is the North America. And they teased us a little bit with these 4 glimpses here. And it is Cancun, Mexico, where the incentives is for us to work and earn that trip. And I know for Pete and Hannah, they could take Uber and get there. So I was sitting with Hannah and she leaned into me and said, we don't have far to go to get there. Thought that was cute, but it happens to be in Cancun, Mexico. And now I'm going to show you, how do you qualify to get there? And if my screen will in fact move. Oh yeah, here we go. Now we're moving. Here are the qualifications. This is what we want to talk about. And in a moment, I'm going to ask Judy Friesen to speak to this, because so the qualification period has already started, October 2nd to February 4th. If you become a senior director and you reach that rank and you maintain it for 6 weeks during the period, you will qualify to attend. And that is for first-time senior directors. So if you've fallen out and you come back in, you wouldn't qualify on that basis alone. But it is open to everyone. Every one of you can earn this trip. And here's how you can do it. All brand partners, because at heart, at the base of everything, we're all brand partners. If you earn 50 points, and on the right side, it shows you how you do that. Through that specific activities, you earn a ticket. That's for you. You can earn a second ticket for your loved one, significant other, by earning 75 points, and that'll earn you the second ticket. And here, as you can see, are the ways in which you're going to earn those. They're earned personally sponsored enrollments. A silver enrollment will earn a point, a gold 2 points, diamond up to 4 points. Personal enrollment of a preferred customer earns 3 points. And then there are rank advancements here. Manager 2 points, director 4 points. If you rank advance to executive director, or in hiring or in promoting people that rank advance through these different sectors here, you will earn points for all of that. So, and then personal enrollments who rank advance, managers receive 2 points, executive senior directors 3 points, and you can see executive directors 4 points. So rank advance for yourself, and then personally enrolled people. Pete, anything you want to add to that, or Clarissa, from what you heard? Because this is the only information we have right now. It hasn't been posted into our back office yet. So Pete and Hannah, or Clarissa, can you speak to that and add anything more than what you heard? Because this is the single slide we have right now.
Well, Carl, I think this would be a good time to bring Judy on as well, because she earned last year's trip to Aruba, and I think it's the exact same format to achieve the trip which Judy did achieve to Aruba. And I think the key is getting preferred customers. So I think it would be really appropriate to have Judy share a little bit, and Clarissa as well. Clarissa maybe reads this a little better. I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing the 3 points for preferred customers. So there's a magic in that. So Judy, over to you.
Judy, yeah, Judy, could you unmute yourself? Because I know when you won that trip, the most amazing part I think about it was that you were surprised that you won it. So looking at this format of points and what you remember from Aruba, can you speak to this and how it was for you to win the Aruba trip?
Yeah, thanks so much. And good evening again, everybody. It's good to see everybody on the call. You know what? I am so excited about Lifewave. It is not just a forward-thinking company, but it's actually bringing dreams to come true. I couldn't have even, like, I have needs. I have health needs. I have financial needs, but I could never have even dreamt of some of the things that David Schmidt is doing. So it is a dream maker for me. As far as the Aruba trip, that was a real dream. I knew the trip was on. I knew there was incentives, but I was just kind of kept my head down. I was quite busy. And I started adding up some points sort of toward the end. And I went, oh my goodness, I think I'm going to make it. And they really, those points really add up very quickly. I can't remember all the details as to what I did and how many points I got for whatever, but to get 3 points for signing up one PC, that's really generous. You know, the company is really wanting to see us look at signing up some preferred customers, because you get more points signing up one PC than you do to signing up a gold, which is like incredible. And the PC doesn't have to make a $500 purchase for you to get the 3 points. So think about that. So, so that's a really exciting thing. The rank advancements, moving from up to manager to director, is great, but I really think I made it to Aruba because I was just really excited about sponsoring as many people as I could find. And I usually really focused in on the gold and on my PCs. And somehow I made it. It was one of the most exciting times of my life that I didn't think that I could ever get to 50 points. It seemed unrealistic. But here's the thing about this company that blows my mind. I mean, so many things do. But think about this, guys. They've actually put the date back, not to the 14th of October or the 16th of October, which you'd expect. They've actually made the qualification period back to October the 2nd. Isn't that amazing that they're even willing to give us those extra 2 weeks before the conference? I think that's really generous to start counting our points back even before the conference started. I don't know if there's other questions that you might want me to cover, Carl.
Just for what you've noticed here, you're absolutely right. And I'm having a good second or third look at it. You can see how smart Lifewave is by incentivizing areas. And we know that there needs to be a balance in our company because of direct selling rules and regulations of an association that we belong to, that we need to balance customers and distributors, now that we call them brand partners, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so they've incentivized this. And for us to personally enroll PCs at 3 points a shot, that's incredible, because that tells me that any one of you that has perhaps more of an affiliation with customers than those that want to build business, all you've got to do is simply do the math. Divide 50 by 3, and you're going to see that you need about 18, 17 maybe PCs, and you're in. I mean, pretty impressive.
And you know what? I was just doing the math here too. And what I wrote down is if I think what happened to get to Aruba is that I did about, I think it was two diamonds. And so that was that's 4 points. So that's, 4 times 2 is 8, right? That's
Yep.
8 points in just the 2 diamonds. And then I did about, 7 or 8 PCs. So 7 times 3 is 21. So that's already 29 points right there. And then if you make up the rest of them by doing, 7, 8 or so gold, you're done. You're right there. That's doable to do 2 diamonds, 7 PCs, and I think it's the gold is 5 times 2, 29, 30, 5 times maybe 7 or 8 golds. It is so doable, guys, to get to it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is. And I know for myself, to rank advance to senior director is to work with you that are in the team that are at manager level to make you senior directors. And simply put, that's a qualification to get on the trip. But it encompasses all the areas you want. It's personally sponsored enrollments, it's PC customers, it's rank advancement of yourself, and personally enrolled in rank. So they've given access to every point where you can earn those points. So it's not just one thing you have to do. You have an opportunity in all 4 of those areas, plus yourself as a senior director, to rank advance and make the trip. So this is doable. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be so proud to be on that trip with so many of you, because it is absolutely doable.
And Carl,
anybody have any questions about it? Go ahead, Judy.
I was just going to say that the only thing that one has to realize is that they're not giving points for upgrade kits. So if you upgrade someone to a gold, that doesn't count. It has to be, I think, the first time sponsored at silver or gold, just to make that really clear for everybody.
Yeah, and that may be an area where we need some clarification, because I know today there's somebody who bought a starter enrollment kit many months ago and then upgraded to a silver today. So, but let's find out about that. Personally sponsored enrollments, does that? I wonder if that covers the upgrades. But a good point to raise, and we'll certainly get some clarification on all of these programs as we move through them. Does anybody else have any questions or any statements about themselves? About how many of you are seeing yourself on this trip already? Go
Judy.
ahead. How many of you? Corolla, go ahead.
Judy, doesn't it say like it says rank advancement manager 2? Oh, that's rank. Sorry about that. That's a different topic. Sorry, my confusion. But yeah, it's very true that it's remarkable how Judy did it last year, you know, and I think everyone can't even make it because we see so many people in pain, and that are those for us, our customers. Those probably might not be our brand partners, you know, like we have to focus on that and to see how we can shift that, right?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I know what Margaret's been doing locally in back home in Winkler in doing patching clinics at the house, you know, and those people wanting to enroll as customers, and maybe they won't advance beyond that, but everyone that she enrolls as a PC she'll get 3 points for that. So it is so doable, so doable. The next slide, go ahead, Krill.
Rowena had asked a question, and I know the company usually, once this starts, like all these qualifications, they will have it in your back office. They track it for you. You don't need to track it.
Yes, thanks for monitoring the chat there. I see your question, Rowena. Yeah, we're going to be seeing this roll out. So much of it is lacking in detail, but as Lifewave moves through this period, we're going to get more and more detail on this, and they'll put more meat on these bones as we go through this period. But I love Judy's observation, and it struck me too as I saw this. Hang on, October 2nd, we're already 2 weeks past that. That is the nature of Lifewave. We see it again, the heart to heart connection. Say, hey, we're going to actually already include, because I know one of my new brand partners is signing up people, and he is, I don't even think he's on the call here. I could check, but he's getting very close to qualifying as he moves through this period. So very exciting times. The next slide I want to move to here, and I'll just size that up a little bit if I can. There we go. Is the 20th anniversary leadership travel incentive here. And as you just read with me, because it's so fresh and new to all of us, I want to read it with you. New executive directors reach the executive director, maintain it for an additional 16 weeks during that period. And it doesn't even have to be consecutive, and develop one director in your first generation down to the next presidential director outside of your strongest enrollment leg, and you earn 1 trip. You know, I have to get my head around all that terminology, but it is there to understand. And then develop 2 directors in your first generation down to the next presidential director outside your strongest enrollment, and you earn 2 trips. So you can see the ways in which, and this is the, I believe, the cruise through the Greek islands. Is that correct, Pete? Can you speak to that? Because I want you to talk about that trip. That looks just breathtaking.
Yeah, that's correct, Carl. It is the Greek islands, a place I've never been to. So very intriguing destination. It should be for everyone. That's an opportunity of a lifetime. I mean, you may be looking at this right now. You may be a little overwhelmed. You may be thinking, wow, I could not reach that. But you know what? Whatever you perceive, you're absolutely right. If you look at it, you say, I can do that. You know what? You're right. If you look at it and you say, I could never do that. You're right. It's all about intentions, and Clarissa loves that line, and I love re-quoting it. It's about the intention that you put in your head, and if you go to work and you start sharing the magic of what can happen. I mean, we saw people at the convention that made senior presidential director in 30 days in Onyx's group. Like, it was just mind-bending what people are actually doing with this compensation plan. They're tearing it up, and it's only as hard as you think it is, you know. So it's something, an opportunity of a lifetime. I go back and I look at my very first trip in network marketing. It was 1992. It was Cancun, Mexico. I mean, it looked like a mountain in the beginning. It looked like an absolute mountain. And you know what? You break it down inch by inch. It's a cinch. By the yard, it's hard. So inch by inch, preferred customer, silver partner, brand partner, gold partner. I mean, you get a diamond. I mean, you start doing this and you get momentum starting to happen. And it will take off, and it'll be parabolic for you and your organization, and they will try to catch you. The speed of the leader is always the speed of the pack. So get excited, get ignited, guys. This is real exciting times for those that can look at this, analyze it, and intentionally say, yes, I'm going to be there. I'm going to give it my absolute best shot. You can do this. Back to you, Carl.
You know, I'm going to use an analogy here because I love to golf and I don't consider myself to be a great golfer. And the most daunting of holes in golf, of which there are 18 to torture yourself with, is a long par 5, 550 yards. You can't even see where the flag is at that point. But I know one thing. If I line myself up right and I pick my target and I look at how far I can get on that first shot and I make that first shot, it sets me up for a next good shot. And every shot after that, if I do it right, if I plan it, and if I execute it right, concentrating on what I'm doing, I will get there. I may not get there in the required number of strokes, but I will see that flag. And when you see that flag and you say, now I know I can get there with this next shot, that's what this is about. It's setting and looking at that flag in the distance and saying, it sure looks like it's a mile away, but you're right. Inch by inch, it is a cinch. And if you look at the number of yards and using this analogy, it seems pretty hard, but we can get there. And I want to say, as a leader in this group, and for all of the other leaders in this group, we're here to help every one of you. Some of you are fairly new to this. I'm new to the multi-level marketing business, and I've never been so proud to be a part of something that is so incentivized and so uplifting, because we know that no leader gets to where he gets without a team working behind him. And so I tell you that the incentives are there, guys. It's up to us. It starts with how intentional you are. Do you see yourself already there and then have to set the number of strokes it will take to get to the flag, or the number of steps it'll take to get to that distance? So I want to open it up for anyone who'd like to add to this. I'm seeing a lot of people on the call here, and I'm glad. Anybody else, just unmute yourself. Perhaps if it gets a little bit chaotic, I'll ask you to put your hand up. But what does it mean to you to look at this now and know that you're a part of this company? Anybody want to go? You know what? I want to call on Rowena. I got to know her at the roadshow, and I loved seeing her passion and everything. Rowena, is there something you can say to that you'd like to share about what this means for you as you look at the company and the future of Lifewave?
Hi.
Hi, Rowena.
So
Oh, just unmute yourself. You went
yeah,
mute
I
again. There you go.
clicked it. Hi, I clicked it and then it double clicked. Okay. Yes, I am new to Lifewave. Just signed up July 20th. And so far I've learned that this company, like was already stated tonight, it has no competition. Not only that, the products work. So the fact that it works and it's like actually healthy and all natural, like you can't actually get any better. And so that in itself, like this stuff sells itself. And I realized that like in order to accomplish anything, you need to do like those 5 things a day, like John Maxwell said. That was like my favorite session. But because I watched the convention virtually. But I want to say that like I like what Robin and Gregory say, that they've kissed a lot of frogs to get a prince. And I feel like I've done a lot of these multi-level marketing. I hate multi-level marketing. I like network marketing. I like what this company does. So I think I found the prince of companies, and I don't want to go to another one. So I want to, my plan is to be at convention next year. So I'm going to buy my ticket. And I also want to go on one or both of these trips. It seems almost impossible having a full-time job, but I think if we just set our goals daily That's the best way to do it. Set a goal, stay connected with your team, and then they will keep telling people, just talk about it. And that's my plan.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Um, what you said there, yeah. There's no other company I want to be with right now. I get approached with different opportunities, different products, services of whatnot. My answer is always the same. I'm singularly focused on Lifewave because of it's a legacy company with a 20-year plan. The other thing I want to share, because it came out, wasn't said from the stage, but David Schmidt shared in the senior presidential directors, he has no intention of selling the company and he has no intention of taking it publicly. And that is a huge breath for us to breathe out, knowing that we're not subject to stock market manipulations and so forth, and ownership that isn't of the heart and nature that David Schmidt is. So we are confidently in the right place with the right leader in the right place. We're on the right bus and we're going in the right direction. That is a winning combination. Anybody else? If I don't hear or see a hand or anybody, I'm going to call on you. And I'm going to wait just a few seconds. You know, Rich, you're on this call with us. The first time we've had you, we had the pleasure of meeting you a little bit in Orlando. Would you like to share something? You've come so far to be here in Orlando, and it was wonderful to see you. Could you share with us what the conference meant to you and the future of Lifewave?
Hi, Carl. It was a pleasure meeting you and everyone here with Lifewave. I'm here in Atlanta now. I had fun and it was a learning experience to be in Orlando. It was great being with our up team. It was my first time to meet you, meet Pete, meet Robin and Gregory, and also Kai and Lynette, and also David Jumper and Spira. So we had great conversations with our up team, and I can see that their lifestyle is very low key. It's not the kind of flashy lifestyle that some people promote. Same, the same kind of humility that David Schmidt also display is is reflected in our leaders, and it's the kind of quality that attracts most people to the company, the humility, the love. And that's why I think that's why we have the heart to heart. The theme for the convention is heart to heart. I flew from the Philippines to Orlando. It's my first time in the US, and it's great. It's a great experience, and I wanted to see how the company is, because I also had an experience with network marketing before, and it didn't last. So somehow there's some sort of hesitation to approach friends and also family. And with the convention and meeting the leaders, it somehow validated my belief. It's no it validated it solidified my belief in the company, in the leadership, and in what I'm going to do. So it fueled momentum for in building this business. And also because of the incentive trips, the motivation is there, the push is there, and it's great to be with a good company and with great company of good leaders.
Thank you, Rich. You truly were a blessing to meet. And everybody was so impressed meeting you. And I know you take this message home to the Philippines to share with anyone that would ever ask you, what is Lifewave all about? Just one more question. You had a long way to travel. How many hours does it take you to get from the Philippines? And I know Hannah went through it too recently, but how many hours are you in transit to get home?
I flew from the Philippines to Manila. It took 16 hours, and then I had an 8-hour layover in New York, and then a 3-hour flight from New York to Florida. So I suffered jet lag. But what's amazing is, I think the patches were, it's not a cure for jet lag. Okay, we are very careful in setting expectations and in our compliance with the rules now. It's not a cure for jet lag, but then it helped my jet lag. In what way? I was able to, I woke up at 3 in the morning for the first 2 days. But then after that, on the third day, I was regularly waking up at around 6:30. So I think I'm coping with this time zone. So I will be visiting a few more states, and then I will be heading back to the Philippines. So it's exciting.
Wonderful.
And yes, and with the qualification for the incentive trips, I'm targeting those, and especially the emphasis on PC signups.
Yes, yes, very good. Well, I did the math quickly, and that's about 27 hours of flying. Amazing, amazing that you made that effort because you felt it was so important to be at this convention. And I know you're taking that home with you to your people. And bless you and safe travels as you make your way home, my dear. Well, folks, it's been great having you on the call here. We've been a little longer than normal, but that's okay. And in closing, I want to turn just the last few minutes over to Pete Redekop, just to close us out as our leader in this group, the reason why we're all here. Pete, just some final thoughts from you as we bring this call to an ending here.
Well, thank you, Carl. And I want to just say thank you to each and every one of you for making the effort even tonight, just being on this call. We've got so many wonderful people here, whether you're part of Clarissa's team, Judy's team, Carl's team. I mean, you're all part of the success team, and it's so exciting to see so many wonderful people. And it's only a small gathering here yet. We have so many, all of us have so many people in our teams that can't make it to any one given call. So I just want to encourage you to call them up personally. There's one thing I learned from David Jumper and from my sponsor, Kai Jacobson, and I'll never forget this lesson. This is one of the most powerful lessons I've ever heard to be successful in network marketing. The 3-foot rule, it's so real. And the telephone, those should be your two best friends. When you come in contact with someone, they're within 3 feet of you, you should be sharing, saying hello, addressing them somewhere. What a wonderful pair of shoes. Oh, I like your outfit, or whatever it is. Or Carl, I love that hat you're wearing. It strikes up a conversation. And that conversation, you have no idea where that can go. Kai is the master at this. And I know some people love social media marketing. We all have our different styles, our different flavors. But at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, we're all the same. We all have a vested interest in uplifting someone else in the room or in your environment, and make the phone your best friend. Get on that phone, get 3-way calls happening. If you don't know how to get a 3-way call going, ask Carl, ask Clarissa, ask Judy, ask myself, and one of us will certainly be available, and we'll be there to help you build. And I can so recall when I started, that phone was almost attached to my head for the first 12 hours a day. Like I'm just making calls and reaching out. And it paid off really big time, because achieved senior director in less than 90 days. And anybody can do that. I mean, I'm nobody special. I mean, just had energy, had some passion to reach out to people, make that phone your best friend, follow up diligently with everyone. And David Jumper said to me, that was his secret when there was one patch, energy patch only. He said that phone was glued to his ear. He was so excited, and it was contagious as people started duplicating what he was doing. That's the key right there, guys. Just make the phone or social media your best friend if that's where you build. So thanks for attending tonight. Really appreciate each and every one of you. And Carl, back to you.
Well, as we, I want all of you to unmute and say goodbye. But before that, I want to share one thought. And it was from Onyx Cole. She stood on the stage and said this: you never know who your friends know. And you won't know unless you ask them and tell them about Lifewave. Guys,
Right.
It's all there for us. Unmute yourself, say goodbye. And I am so blessed to be in this group and our bigger group. Let's work together and lift each other up. So from Florida, good night.
Good night from
Winnipeg,
Mexico.
good night.
Good night.
God bless everyone.
Good night from Winnipeg.
See
Good
you in
night.
a bit. See you
So-
Tuesday testimonials.
Thanks, Pete and Hannah. Thanks,
Love
Hannah.
you, meeting you, Rich. Safe journey home.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Congrats, Rich.
All right. We'll end